Hello class. Today we will be looking at the basic things syntax in Python programming. In our introductory class, we discuss more on Python. We know the meaning of Python is applicability, historical development, evolution, as well as definition of variables, object, classes, and so on and so forth. So today we'll be talking on the basic syntax, that's the rules governing Python programming language. First, the name of a variable, say my int, etc., is placed on the left of the operator equal to operator, on the left of the equal to operator. So meaning if you are declaring, first the name must be by the left hand side, followed by equal to operator. So most variable names are in the camel case, where the first word begins with a lowercase letter and any subsequent words are capitalized. That's what we call a camel case. Meaning if you are writing the name of a variable, the first letter or the first two letters will be in small letter, while the subsequent letters will be capitalized. Two, variable names may also appear in snake case, where all words are lowercase with underscore between the words. That is also another case. The first, we talk about the camel case, where the first letters are small, subsequent ones will be capitalized, while the snake case, where all words are in lowercase with an underscore between words. So the assignment operator, which most people refer to as equal to, set the variable name equal to the memory location where the value is found. So meaning if I say my string equals hello world, the hello world will be stored in my string, which is the memory location. So the value of a variable hello world is placed on the right of the operator. So the type of this value does not need to be stated, but its format must be abide by a given object type as shown. So my string equals followed by double quote is telling the Python interpreter or program that this is a string because the quote are already defining a string. My int equals 7 is telling the interpreter that this is an integer because 7 is allocated to the memory location my int or to the variable my int. My float is talking about it is a double because 7.0 denotes a decimal number. So decimal numbers are represented as float in Python programming language. My list equals to open bracket 7, 8, 9 is talking about it is a list. Reason because these are the values on the right hand side are a list of items. So we used this box bracket to represent a list of items in Python. My boolean equals true is talking about this is a boolean statement because it's equals to only one type and that type is true. And we know that a boolean type is either true or false. Now, still on the syntax, we'll now want to look at the function syntax. How do you define a function? What are the rules of defining a function in Python? So to define a function in Python, we use the word def followed by the function name. Then we now pass the argument into the brackets. So def indicates that you are defining a new function. Two, function in bracket refers to the name of your function. By convention, this name is typically lowercase and represent a verb or action. So AB refers to the parameters, that is values or variables, that can be used within the statement of your function's definition. So if your function has no parameters, an empty parenthesis is used. So the return statement is an optional statement that will return a value from your function to your original call. So this is really the basic syntax of defining a function in Python. So you use the def to define it, while that function can be the name, because it must not be a function, mind you. What we're trying to say is we're just using it as an example. So what you need to do here is you can say def hnd1. So def is the keyword that is telling the Python compiler that I'm defining a new function. HND1 will be the name of the function. Open or close and close brackets are going to be the what parentheses in case if there are parameters I want to pass within. So and this the content within those parameters are what I'm going to use within the lines of code or within the statements. So, and the return function here is optional because this return function can be used to return a value for that particular function. Now, we've seen how to define a function. Now, how do you call a function in Python programming? So to call a function, we refer to it by its name and by placing any necessary argument, say 1, 2, within the parentheses separated by commas. So my value equals to function 1, 2. So if you wish, you can set this function equal to a variable, my value. So the value returned by the function will be assigned to your variable name. Say my value equals to function 1, 2. So meaning these values are passed to as the values I will use throughout when that function is called. So you see, we've look at the basic rules or basic syntax in Python programming, where we forge ahead to also look at the basic syntax of defining function, how it is used, the rules. We now went ahead now to conclude with how to call a function. What are the basic syntax of calling a function? So this brings us to the end of this lecture. However, I have some quiz for you. Look through this quiz, study and brainstorm on these questions. For now, bye. See you next class.